JJ the CPA here. Hope you're doing well. Wow, what a day here. April 16th, getting ready to go into the 17th. So this is called an update for April 17th. For sole proprietors, self-employed, the single member LLC, the small business owner. So if you didn't get your PPP money or the EIDL, here is the next best thing. It is that employee retention credit. So if you didn't get PPP, you got locked out, you didn't get EIDL, okay, for whatever reason, here's what you want to act on. And I mean ASAP, couldn't stress it enough. Form 7200, now your new best friend. All right, hey, I've got a couple of links where I have talked about this, and I even got one where I go to the website of irs.gov and walk you through the Form 7200 and how to calculate it. I actually have on my website just free of charge in the sense of you don't tell me anything. I don't need to know any email information. It's just there to help, but I've got some worksheets on there where you can calculate it. But that employee retention credit, okay, this Form 7200, it's like an ATM machine for you, but you gotta get after it, okay? You come up with your credit, you put it on line 1, you sign it, do a little bit of info up top, you fax it in, and it's so new, I don't know how quickly they get the money out, but it's supposed to be like right away. So with this credit, this would be March 13th through March 31st, the only credit out of the new credits that came into play that you can get a refund on, number one, but actually apply for March is the employee retention credit. Now, believe it or not, like seriously, you almost won't even think you heard this right, okay? But 100 or less employees, whether they worked or not, okay? It doesn't even matter about if they were sick or quarantined, or did they have kids, or were they at the house, were they working? Whatever you paid your employees, the 13th through the 31st, 100 or less employees, okay, you get a 50% tax credit, okay? So if your payroll was $20,000, okay, in that time period, you're gonna get a $10,000 tax credit. You put it on line 1, you fax it into the IRS, and they're supposed to send you a check. It's actually pretty easy, and especially for March, because it is limited to $10,000 of compensation for each employee. So that's 5,000 smackaroonies, tall stacks, whatever you want to call it, per employee up to, right? But you'll want to act on this fast. I mean, gee, many Christmas, right? The EIDL, gone. And like right at the same time, PPP. Now, what's coming next? Who knows? Okay. Now, if they extend out the PPP, maybe there's some recapture. I'm still a little bit up in the air on that employee retention credit. I really would appreciate it if we could get an exact date of when there's some limitations to when you can claim the ERC compared to if you take PPP. But if you don't have PPP and you don't have the EIDL, you want to do this ERC. Now, if you need a little bit of frantic, I've got one that says, the thumbnail says urgent this big. So if you really need a talking to, go to that one, okay? Because that will get you revving. Okay, there's no reason to wait till Monday. Okay, fax machines 24/7, okay? What you want to do is get that Form 7200 in. That is cash in your pocket, okay? One little secret. When you're filling it out, you're going to still mark it second quarter. Listen to my video on why to make sure you're getting your dollars. And then when you go into second quarter, check it out. You can be getting an advance on employee retention credit if you're going to qualify in second quarter, right? 2020. And they're not advance requests on this, but if you are able to get the other tax credits that came out of the Coronavirus Tax Act, which I'm going to put a link to all this here in the body, you're getting 100% potentially of what you're paying out to your employees. You got to check it out, because the credits that came out of the first Families First Coronavirus Relief Act are pretty unbelievable, right? There's basically three. There's two kinds, but there's three categories. One, if someone's got COVID, symptoms of, they're under quarantine, told to quarantine, for 10 days that you pay that employee up to $511 a day, you get a credit, right? So if you pay them $185 a day, right, times 10 days, you're getting a full credit for that. Now, if it's somebody that's caring for somebody that's got COVID, symptoms of, quarantine, told to quarantine, okay, same thing, 10 days, but it's whatever you paid them, or $200, whatever's the lower amount for 10 days, like 100% of what you paid them, max 200. And then there's another credit, one more out of that. It's the Expanded Family Medical Leave Act. And that is, if you've got a health emergency and you've got individuals that have kids under 18 and they've got to be home, there's a few other caveats there, but you get dollar for dollar, okay, tax credit, okay? Now, it's max $200 a day, but it is up to $10,000 per employee. What? And that's separate from the employee retention credit. Now, you got to pick whatever credit you are for that day, right? Can't take multiple credits on the same day for that same employee. But you got credits coming out your ears on this one. So I've got a playlist about the credits. I've got all kinds of good information for you on my website, jjthecpahelp.com. I've got pages that talk about the credits and worksheets. It's super helpful. And it's all for free. It's just there for you. Total community service. So this is the next step. But I'm telling you right now, goodness, if you missed out on the PPP and you missed out on the EIDL, I am sorry. And I'm saying, you know, at this point, it may have not even been your fault, but get after the ERC. And if you can get those other credits, get after those, because those new credits that I told you about from the Families First Coronavirus Relief Act, right, on the if you have COVID, symptoms of, caring for, kids under 18, etc., that's April 1st forward. But that employee retention credit is whatever you paid them March 13th through March 31st, boom. I mean, it's money coming right back to you. Get after it. Okay, there's been some that even did an analysis and they decided to do the ERC instead of the PPP. I haven't seen a scenario where that have worked out better, but here's the deal. When you get that money back on the ERC, there's no forgiveness. You don't have to worry about it in terms of, well, do I do this? Do I do that? And how do I do this? And did I let people go? It won't matter. Who did you pay during that period times 50%? That's your credit. Now, if you're over 100 employees, little caveat to that, it has to be that the employee was not working, okay? And then you get this credit. All right, JJ the CPA, just trying to help you out. Here's the next thing. This other $250 billion that may be coming might have some different strings attached, so don't wait around on it. Please don't. Get after Form 7200, get it in ASAP, and get some money in your pocket. Now, let me just reiterate. If you have the PPP, okay, you need to sit tight on whether or not you're taking the employee retention credit, because we need to get a little more clarification. At least I think we need to get a little more clarification to ensure that you are able to take it for sure. And what are the repercussions if you take it first quarter and then later you get the PPP? Meaning, do you have to pay it back, or is it a reduction in your loan forgiveness? Here's the thing to know. If you didn't get PPP, you don't even have to remember that last part. If you didn't get PPP, boom, okay? Within the hour, you should have that fax, okay? If there was a fax machine sound I can make right now, I'd do it. But you need to have that fax going to the IRS so there's some money coming to you ASAP. All right, hey, hope that helps. Love it if you'd subscribe to my YouTube channel. Subscribe. And then I've been going live Monday through Friday, 4 p.m. Eastern. Where'd that come from? 4 p.m. Central, Monday through Friday. And, you know, for about an hour, I'm going to do it on the go for it, but just answering questions, seeing what's going on, and maybe building a little community. We've got just a great group of individuals that are coming together, and we're checking in and helping to encourage each other. So, all right, hey, love it if you'd subscribe. JJ the CPA out. Don't you ever forget, you've never met a CPA quite like me. All right, let's go. Let's go.